On behalf of State Fire Marshal Peter Ostrowski and the men and women of the Department of Fire Services, I'd like to welcome you tonight to the commencement exercises for the 81st graduating class of the Massachusetts Firefighting Academy's Cole Volunteer Firefighter Recruit Training Program. At this time, I ask that you please join me as we welcome tonight's official party, led in by the presiding officer, State Fire Marshal Peter Ostrowski. Please join me as we now welcome the Chiefs of Department for tonight's graduating recruits. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask that you please rise for the entrance of Class 081. Class 081 was led in by a representative of the Greater Boston Pipes and Drums. I ask that you please remain standing for our national anthem, which will be performed by Leanne Travers.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly strewn.
Class 081, please post the colors. I ask that you please remain standing for the invocation, which will be delivered by Pastor Kevin Beard.
Well, my congratulations to class of 2020. It's a delight to be here with all of you tonight. There are 4 from Hamilton, where I'm from, among the class, and a special exciting thing is that my next-door neighbor, Scott, is also among them. And I think he was trying to burn down something in my backyard just to practice this whole time. We're proud of all of you. It's my great privilege to give the invocation tonight. So please join me as we ask God's blessing on this class and the proceedings. Oh God, we thank you for this day of celebration, and we gather with great joy because of the accomplishments of this class. We pray your blessing on each graduate. Watch over them as they protect the communities in which they're called to serve. Encourage them when they face difficult calls, battle through injury, and for those times when, despite their best efforts, things don't go as they hope, be with them. We pray for courage, for humility, for patience, resilience, and a deepening camaraderie with those who serve alongside them. We ask, O God, that you would give these men and women hearts to serve. We remember the words of the Apostle Paul, do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit. Rather, in humility, value others above yourselves, not looking to your own interest, but each of you to the interest of others. Let this call to sacrificial service pervade each fire station, from the chiefs and officers to all fire personnel and our graduates today. Be with each family member. Be with those friends and neighbors who are here tonight in support of them. Help them as they support and care for those who serve and face stressful, dangerous situations day in and day out. Finally, we pray for communities. Here they may be stronger, safer, more hope-filled places to live and to work and to grow up. Bless us this day and every day, I pray. In Jesus' name, amen.
Please be seated. Again, good evening and welcome, everyone. My name is Joseph Kluznik, and I currently serve as the Deputy Massachusetts Fire. I'd like to take a moment and share with you who makes up tonight's official party. I will start with the person to my immediate left. He is the presiding officer for tonight's ceremony, the former chief of the Uxbridge Fire Department, and now the head of the Department of Fire Services, State Peter Ostrowski. Next to the marshal is the chaplain of the Hamilton Fire Department, Pastor Kevin Beard. Next to the pastor is a member of the Massachusetts Fire Training Council, the group that puts forth and oversees all policies regarding training for the Massachusetts Firefighting Academy throughout the Commonwealth. From the Groveland Fire Department, Assistant Chief Kurt Rushala. It is the mission of the Call Volunteer Recruit Firefighter Training Program to take a group of young individuals, introduce them to the history of the fire service, prepare them, give them the tools and the education that they need to bring back to their respective departments tomorrow, and certainly prepare them for the challenges that they are sure to face in the future. That is no easy task, but the Massachusetts Firefighting Academy is blessed to have at the head of its program, on my far left, Deputy Chief of the Northampton Fire Department, Mr. Christopher Norris. And to his right is the Assistant Program Coordinator, Deputy Chief of the Leicester Fire Department, Mr. Michael Dupuy. Hey, you may have seen a lovely young lady down front who is making this broadcast live for us over Facebook. So the family and friends and the adoring fans that cannot be here tonight are sure to be able to see it at home. This is all through the hard work of our director and producer, Miss Christina Mitchell. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor to introduce our State Fire Marshal, Peter Ostrowski.
Good evening, everyone. It's my great privilege and honor to be with you tonight representing the men and women of the Massachusetts Department of Fire Services. It's really a great time for me to be here with you to celebrate the achievement of this group, Class 081. Let me lead off by extending our thanks. I would be remiss if I didn't start off with thanking our staff. The department, as you can see, is spread out across the Commonwealth, providing a number of services, and very much in the forefront is the Massachusetts Firefighting Academy. We're very honored and privileged to have a number of instructors here today in their white shirts on each side of the stage, along with the program coordinator and the assistant coordinator, and they represent our instructor corps that is working across the Commonwealth every day. Our practitioners, they are fire service personnel, active or retired, who want to give back to their brother and sister firefighters, who work diligently to bring their knowledge, skills, abilities, experience to the front to help make sure that they share that information, that we make our service as safe as it can be, and to work with their brother and sister firefighters. They want to give back. So let's recognize our instructors one time tonight for all their hard work. We extend our thanks to the chiefs of department of the recruits and the area departments for their support. It's through your effort that we're able to provide this training locally in your own backyard to reduce travel time, to the benefit of the students and the fire departments, and we appreciate your support. To say thank you to the brother and sister firefighters who are joining us tonight in support of these recruits, as they have all this time while they've been in recruit school. We know that the support that you give every day to get them to this point and every day going forward is vitally important to their success and your success. So welcome to all of our brother and sister firefighters, and thank you for your service and your effort. A very special thank you to the family and friends that are here in support of the members of Class 081. We recognize that you make great sacrifices for them to do what they do, for all the support that you give the fire service personnel in your hometown and across the Commonwealth. We recognize that whether it be in recruit training, at another academy course, or when they get called to duty, that you stand in occasions, take up the challenge of many tasks left unfinished, and especially over these last 4 months plus, you've had to fill the gap while these are working. We also recognize the vital support network that you provide. While we have the privilege of a second family when we sign on to the fire department, we also value dearly the support of family and friends as we go out there and do what we're called to do, we know that you make sacrifices, and you too are signed on now to a second family, that of the fire service. So thank you for your support and your efforts. You deserve it. Wow, Class 081, you made it. It may seem like it was a long time ago when you first came together to start this journey. It may seem like it was interminable when you spent 2 nights a week, Saturdays and or Sundays, on the training ground, in the classroom. It may seem like never ending when you went home, studied hard, spoke to your brother and sister firefighters back in your home station, and worked with these instructors to get to this point. So, congratulations. Tonight you transition from that title of recruit to the title of firefighter. Take a deep breath. Look around. Enjoy this night. You've earned it. It's been a long road, and you've worked hard. But before we move on, I just want to issue a couple of reminders. Now, I know, speaking to Mr. Norris, that your class was stellar. You did all your homework on time. You were early for training ground evolutions. You stayed late. You worked hard, and you didn't have any deficiencies. Now that the fantasy part of this program is over, we do say congratulations. Remember a couple of things. First and foremost, what you've accomplished today is significant, and we know that it was your goal. It's time to set your next goal, to build on the foundation upon which you've constructed. Know that every day as fire service personnel, we face new challenges. And every day it's our responsibility to make sure that we're prepared for what we're faced with. That's accomplished through training. So I remind you to take advantage of Fire Academy courses, whether they're on campus or in the field. The National Fire Academy, community college courses, your local fire department training. Be an active participant and be an active player, because that's what makes sure that we're building on that foundation. Remember the core principle. As many of you came in, you may have considered yourselves individuals, but over these months, you've learned and recognized the core tenet of the fire service is teamwork. You've come together as a team. And while some departments that you've trained with over these months may seem distant to you, be assured that it's a bad day. It's a day when you might be working together again. And that teamwork is critically important. So build upon that foundation, relish that teamwork, and continue to work hard to be safe every day. Congratulations.
Thank you, Marshal. It gives me great pleasure to introduce the program coordinator for the Call Volunteer Recruit Firefighter Training Program, Mr. Christopher Norris.
Now I get my minute rebuttal for the Marshal's remark in the stellar class. Class 081, start off with congratulations. And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the graduation of Class 081 of the Call Volunteer Recruit Firefighter Training Program. Tonight we're here to celebrate the accomplishments of this class. I'd first like to start by thanking the State Fire Marshal and the Deputy Director of the Fire Academy for their continued support and advocacy for this program that enables the men and women across this state to be continually trained to be better prepared to handle all hazards emergencies. In addition, I'd like to thank the fire chiefs for their continued support and advocacy for this program. This demonstrates their commitment to the training and their ongoing effort to increase the safety of all their personnel. In particular, I'd like to extend our sincere thanks to Chief Burnett, who was gracious enough to share his station with our training program over the past 15 weeks, as this class was based out of Hamilton. I just want to share some brief remarks with the Class 081 that I shared with the Leicester class that graduated on Tuesday night. Just last week, I met with 2 new classes that are starting the Call Volunteer Recruit Training Program as part of their orientation. One class begins their training this Saturday, and the other class begins on Sunday. I spoke with them about the demands of the program and how time management, organization, and other components are critical for their success. Just as all of you sat through that same orientation, some of them looked at me with confusion and misunderstanding as I tried to give them a detailed overview of what to expect as they begin their program. I stated that it would be about 15 weeks of going to work or school all day, working part-time jobs or going to school part-time, then coming home, seeing your kids and loved ones for a limited amount of time, leaving again to come here for class, staying here on weeknights until 10 p.m., driving home after class, which could take anywhere from 15 to 45 minutes, getting cleaned up, going home, getting some rest, and then the next day, back to work or school, and then only on your day off and on your in-between days to have to study to complete your online quizzes before having to do it all over again on your next training day. And then on weekends, every Saturday and some Sundays, you were here at 0800 hours and worked until 1600 hours, missing many of your kids' activities or sports events, spending time with your family and loved ones, and other outside interests and hobbies that all of you have. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, in between on all your downtime, having to study to take several exams, 2 national certification exams on one book that was over 1,500 pages, and let's not forget your hazmat book as well. That just gives you a quick snapshot of some of the things and challenges they had. In addition, they all had to demonstrate proficiency and competency in practical skills, such as donning your personal protective equipment, your self-contained breathing apparatus, conducting searches for missing people inside of buildings, throwing ground ladders, ropes and knots, vehicle extrication, and extinguishing fires, just to name a few of those components. So understandably, one of the questions that we sometimes all the time is why? Why did all of you sacrifice and commit to this program and this profession given all of these challenges? For some, it might have been a requirement for the position on their department. For others, it might have been an individual drive or personal goal that they wanted to accomplish. Others may have wanted to use this as an opportunity for growth into a career department. Regardless as to the why, which will be different for each one of you, what I can attest to is that every one of you are incredible people. The commitment and the resiliency to improving yourselves, your departments, and your communities is unmatched. And you demonstrated that over this last 15 weeks. This has always been my answer when I'm asked a question as to why all of you come through this program. As all of you know, and all of you found out, it takes a special person to complete this process. For 15 weeks, you have met each of these challenges, and I'm so proud to be here with all of you tonight as you graduate from this program. Graduation from this program is a testament to your character and your perseverance to accomplish a core foundation to your continued learning in this profession. As you leave here tonight, please remember that this was not done alone. As much of you have sacrificed over the past 15 weeks, there are others who have also done the same. These incredible instructors, led by your lead instructor, Mr. Mullen, along with all the other support personnel, demonstrated the same commitment you all faced as you graduate here tonight. They all taught you how to operate safely and efficiently in the fire ground to keep you safe and go home to all of your families. And finally, your family, friends, and coworkers, and the loved ones have all sacrificed in many different ways as well. They become part of that firefighting family tonight, and they're here to continue to support you as they will going forward in the future. Congratulations on all of your accomplishments for completing this program. Continue your training. I wish you all the best, and be careful in all that you do. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Norris. It is now time for the presentation of diplomas to the graduates of Class 081. I'd like to call upon Assistant Coordinator Mr. Michael Dupuy to call a roll of today's graduates. Family, friends, please don't be shy. Come on up front and center for pictures when we call upon your firefighter.
At this time, I'd like to call up from the Boxford Fire Department, Chief Geiger. Graduating firefighter, Ross Francis. At this time, I'd like to call up retired Lieutenant James Hassam in the Chester Fire Department. Lieutenant Hassam is the graduating Hunter Hassam. Graduating firefighter, Jason Kill. From the Dunstable Fire Department, Chief Murray. I'd like to call up retired Captain Richard Conway from the Nashua, New Hampshire Fire Department. Captain Conway is the father of graduating firefighter Dylan Conway. From the Georgetown Fire Department, Mitchell. At this time, I'd like to call up Deputy Sean Manning, Sr. from the Revere Fire Department. Deputy Mannion is the father of graduating firefighter Sean Mannion. At this time, I'd like to call up retired Chief Stephen Pasden from the Peabody Fire Department. This evening, we also have a special guest. I'd like to call up retired firefighter Kevin Pasden. Kevin Pasden is the brother. Retired Chief Pasden is the father of graduating firefighter Brian Pasden. Plenty of room. Plenty of room. From the Groveland Fire Department, Chief Valentine. Graduating firefighter Kevin Hendry. From the Hamilton Fire Department, Chief Burnett. Graduating firefighter Appleton. Graduating firefighter Daniel Grew. At this time, I'd like to call up Lieutenant Chad McCormick from the Beverly Fire Department. Lieutenant McCormick is the father of graduating firefighter Daniel McCormick. Graduating firefighter Scott Siller. From the Haverhill Fire Department, Chief of Liberty. I'd like to call up Deputy Chief Eric Darby from the Haverhill Fire Department. Chief Darby is the uncle of graduating firefighter Alec. From the Linfield Fire Department, Chief Davis. Graduating firefighter James Anderson. Graduating firefighter Graduating firefighter Daniel Schuler. From Middleton Fire Department, Chief Martinuck. Graduating firefighter Peter Cugianos. From the Nahant Fire Department, Chief Palumbo. Graduating firefighter, Douglas Cronin. Graduating firefighter, Tara Driscoll. Graduating firefighter, William Hussey. Graduating firefighter, Evan Skirtis. From the Newbury Fire Department, Chief Janvrin. Graduating firefighter, Ashley Noyce. From the Rowley Fire Department, Chief Broderick. I'd like to call up firefighter Jesse Warren from the Rowley Fire Department. Firefighter Warren is the brother of graduating firefighter Joseph Warren. From the Topsail Fire Department, Chief Collins Brown. I'd like to call up fire alarm operator Clint Larrabee from the Salem Fire Department. Fire alarm operator Larrabee is the brother-in-law of graduating firefighter Vincent Miseradino.
All right, that's good.
From the Tingsboro Fire Department, Assistant Chief Sands. I'd like to call up Lieutenant Tom from the Bellrica Fire Department. Lieutenant Joyce is the father of graduating firefighter Thomas Joyce. From the Wenham Fire Department, Chief Kavanaugh. I'd like to call up retired patrolman Dean, Danvers Police Department. Patrolman Bean is the father of graduating firefighter Nicholas Bean. Graduating firefighter Cooper Glenotti. Graduating firefighter Ryan LaBeouf. Graduating firefighter Christopher Swinnick. Ladies and gentlemen, 081.
Please be seated. It is now time for the presentation of the Martin H. McNamara Award to the outstanding recruit of Class 081. To make that presentation, I call upon Assistant Chief Kurt Rashala of the Groveland Fire Department and the Massachusetts.
November of 2003, Martin McNamara, a call firefighter for the town of Lancaster, Mass., was killed while operating in a structure fire. Of recognition. In each class, one student is selected who has excelled in the training program, and this student is named as the outstanding student of the class. This recommendation is based on the student's successful achievement in both academic and practical skills applications. At this time, I would like to invite Chief Raymond Burnett of the Hamilton Fire Department to please join us on stage. And I am pleased to present the Martin H. McNamara Award for Outstanding Student of Call Volunteer Class 081 to firefighter Ross Appleton of the Hamilton Fire Department. One goes to the student?
Well, you get one for the chief and one for the student. I don't know how many goes for that. Class, please be seated. I'd like to take a moment to make an apology to all of you, and especially to lead instructor for Class 081, Mr. Skip Mullen, who is down here on the far left. For it is normally at this juncture in the graduation that we pause for a musical interlude. And in years past, Mr. Mullen would come up on stage and entertain us with a musical solo. Not many of you people know this. Skip is the master of the tuba. And when he's done it in the past, I'll tell you, he leaves the crowd crying. In fact, last year, up on this stage, in fact, I know the marshal remembers this, Skip's rendition of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. So many people in the audience were overcome with emotion, they literally stood up and left the auditorium. A couple ran out. And then soon after, the marshal ran out just to make sure that they were okay. That is the effect that Skip Mullen has on an audience when he plays his tuba. Well, unfortunately, earlier this evening, there was an incident. As I was pedaling my bicycle to tonight's ceremony, I pulled into the parking lot, and I pulled into the space right next to where Skip was parked. And as I was placing down the kickstand on my bicycle, I saw that Skip had his and a bunch of folders, and he was taking the tuba out of his car with the other arm. So I ran over to him and I said, "Mr. Mullen, please allow me to you." So I wrestled the tuba out of his arm, and then I failed, I realize that now, to exercise situational awareness. Something that Skip always preaches and practices. And I know the members of Class 081 know exactly what I'm talking about. Situational awareness, head on a swivel, always being aware of your surroundings. Well, once I had the tube in my possession, I wheeled around to make my way to the building, and I slipped on a banana peel. The tuba went up in the air in one piece, and when it landed, it was in four. Nothing. We'll just have someone come up on stage and share with the entire audience what it feels like to be named the recipient of the Martin McNamara Award. So, Ross, you and I owe this to Mr. Mullen. Ladies and gentlemen, Ross Appleton of the Hamilton Fire Department. Congratulations, or whatever comes to heart. Well done.
All right. Wish I had that tuba. Sorry. Wasn't expecting this. It means a lot to me, but I think this award really belongs to our whole class. I mean, I couldn't have done any of this without them, and just want to thank them and our instructors, Skip especially, for sticking by me, and my family too, for sticking by me through all this, encouraging me to do it, and getting us through. So, go away one.
It is now time to hear from another member of 081, the class spokesperson, Firefighter William Hussey of the Nahant Fire Department.
Good evening. Good evening, and welcome to the Caldwell Class 081 graduation ceremony. My name is Billy Hussey. I'm recruit number 55, and I have the honor and privilege to speak to you guys tonight. The fire service is full of tradition and rich in history. For centuries, firefighters have been committed to helping others in their greatest time in need. The fire service is said to date back to ancient Rome, when they called themselves watchmen. Watchmen would be on lookout for signs of fire and ring a bell to alert others. They would show up with buckets of water in hand to extinguish the fire. Instructor Mullins was always first on scene. Always prepared. Always prepared to put out the fire. Always ready to work. But today is an important milestone in that history. On behalf of my brothers and sisters of 081, I'd like to thank all of our friends, instructors, for all the encouragement, support to keep us motivated. Families, it was a long 15 weeks, over 200 hours of training between everyday jobs, kids, husbands, wives, life itself We showed up Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays. All of this wouldn't be possible without your love and support. I know my wife was pulling her hair out with our 3 kids at home. So we thank you. And I love you. During those 15 weeks of training, almost a month ago from today, I lost my father to a long battle to Parkinson's disease. Every single one of my brothers and sisters reached out to me to pay their respects. Many even showing up to his services to pay their respects. And for that, I am forever grateful. And I can stand here and proudly say I would run into a burning building for each and every one of you. Especially you, Meatball. I'm not sure why you got that name, but when Mr. Bolin from Gas School locked eyes on you, it was all over. You are forever Meatball. To our instructors, thank you for the late nights, weekends, even showing up after working a 24-hour shift to train us and show us how to be successful firefighters. Mr. Limoncello, you're one of a kind, my friend. Many great things to be said about you, but not inappropriate for this occasion. But there was a time, just coming up about halfway to fire camp, and we were running our donning and doffing drill, and Instructor Spitaleri was running that drill that night. Instructor Spitaleri, using his inside voice, said, "Listen, it's weak whatever, you're firemen now. Start acting like it and actually surprise me for once tonight." And coming from Mr. Spitaleri, that's huge. But just that statement changed my mindset and instilled the sense of confidence I needed throughout the rest of the program. All of our instructors along this way, thank you for your commitment and passion as firefighters, but also teaching us that same passion and commitment service that we can bring back to our communities. So thank you, instructors. To my brothers and sisters of Class 081, we started as individuals, worrying about ourselves. As time went along, we became the family we are today. We had many laughs, created memories I will hold on to forever. As we leave here today and go our separate ways to serve in our communities, I wish you all and hope someday we cross paths again. Never stop training, never stop learning, challenge yourself, and respect the uniform. We are expected to be professionals and 100% prepared in the worst time in some people's lives. We are held to a higher standard. As many of the instructors say, always expect fire. Stay safe. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to call up Ross and Dan to present our class plaque. Someone. Thank you.
Thank you, Class 081. That plaque will be permanently mounted on the wall of the Academy in Stowe, and it certainly serves as an open invitation for you to come and visit at any time you wish. Just want to let you know that we will be a collection at the end of this ceremony to hopefully raise enough funds to take Skip's 4-piece tuba and kind of put it out of its misery. Thank you for your consideration. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you please now rise for the benediction to be delivered by Chaplain Kevin Beard.
What a great night. Is a good word to send you out. And my benediction tonight is actually directed to the class. So you all get to listen in, but it's really for all of you as a thank you and also looking for where you're headed and ahead. So receive the benediction. Lord bless you and keep you when you face the challenges of each call. May his face shine upon you as you stoop.
I ask that you please remain standing for the departure of Class 081, followed by the departure of the official party, and then the departure of the chiefs of department. Thank you.